Hey folks, Jim here. I just want to send a big thank you out to every single person in the entire world who went out and picked up my latest book with the great Ben Dunn on art, Steampunk Palin. It was featured on CNN, MSNBC, on British TV, on the 10 o'clock show. Hundreds and hundreds of reviews, good or bad. I don't care. Thank you for purchasing the book. And I do hope to see some of you in the next few weeks at all the Comic Cons and everything that I'll be attending, like Toronto Comic Con in March and Anime North in May, where me and Ben will be there both. So you'll be able to get the book signed. If you're not a fan of the book, too bad. Maybe you didn't get the joke, but it's not meant to be taken seriously. If you took it seriously, you're an idiot. So, yeah, I just want to thank everyone, and I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to ask a question or two, if you like, about this book. If you have questions that you want answered about Steampunk Palin, as long as you have read it, feel free to ask them, and I will do a very special episode of Geeking Out next week where I answer all your questions. So send them in now. Now let's get to the review.
Hi there fans in Comic Land, it's Leela here from the Comic Connection with this week's comic book reviews. First up, we've got Wolverine and Jubilee, number 1 of 4 by Catherine Emanen and Phil Noto. So previously in the X-Men universe, Jubilee was turned into a vampire after she had lost her mutant powers, and the X-Men have locked her in a special cell, isolated from the other team members because they don't really know what to do with her. So in this issue, Dr. Rao begins treating her with Wolverine's blood, and his healing factor is a treatment but not exactly a cure. And now she must learn to cope with her new life state, and soon finds herself being framed for something that she didn't do. This was an interesting beginning to the series. I like the interaction between Wolverine and Jubilee, you know, the big brother, kid sister kind of thing. I wasn't a huge fan of the art though. It's a little too simplistic for me, like not a lot of background stuff and not a lot of musculature, and I like more to my art. But it did a good enough job in getting the story across, and what I like about this miniseries is that it's not just one of those throwaway things. You know, it is going on inside the universe that's going on right now, addressing the vampire issue and everything that's going on in the X-Men comics right now. Next up, we've got Young Justice number 0 by Kevin Hawkes, Greg Weisman, and Mike Norton. And in this one, Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash rescue Superboy, who is Superman's clone, from Project Cadmus. And now the four want to form their own superhero team, but they're waiting for their partnership to be sanctioned by Batman, Superman, and the rest of the league. But their first mission, which is just staying out of trouble until they make up their mind, doesn't go so well. This is well done. I really liked it. It's a kid's book, obviously. I mean, you can see the Cartoon Network reference. But I thought it was really well done. It's funny, got lots of action. The interaction between the more mature superheroes and the less mature is really interesting, and it was surprisingly well written and drawn. So if you're looking for an excellent kids book to start up for someone in your life, I would definitely recommend this one. And last but not least is Steampunk Palin. This one is by Ben Dunn, Jim Felker, with pinups by Brian Denham. So in this one, while at a conference about alternative power sources, Sarah Palin is gravely injured, and she wakes up 6 months later to the news that about 60% of her body has been replaced by prototype steam-powered armor, and the evil Big Oil and Nuke have taken control of country after country, and it's up to her and the forces of good to stop them. So Palin, Obama, and McCain fight back and discover the identity of Big Oil and Nuke's secret leader. Alright, so if you like political satire, this is the book for you. If you like beautiful steampunk art, this is the book for you. If you love to laugh your butt off, this is definitely the book for you. I could be a little biased here because, you know, Jim is involved with this project. But I actually thought that the story was really brilliant. I especially enjoyed that Palin was powered by or comprised of steam-powered armor. I'm guessing that the writers are maybe alluding to the fact that she's full of a little of hot air. But if not, then it was funny for me to think of it that way. So this was a lot of fun for Republicans and Democrats alike, I think. You can find something positive in there from both sides of the aisle. And I think that Steampunk Palin is going to be a surefire hit. In fact, we already sold all the issues that we had. So go down to your comic book store and get them now before they're all sold out. See you later next week, guys.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Gym Cave for another adventure into reviews with Geeking Out. I'm your host, Jim, of course, and welcome to the Gym Cave once again. It's way too cold to review outside, so I'm reviewing at home for the next few weeks. And in this week, we have a very special week because since we're about 3 weeks behind, you get 3 reviews this week. Every 2 days, a new set of reviews from me and Leela. So let's start off with Once Upon a Time, Volume 1, written and drawn by Sonia Leon. And in this one, a series of short stories are told following 5 girls as they experience all life has to offer, good and bad. Not a bad little American-style manga series. It's not bad. Good character development, well drawn. Good pacing in some parts. I actually quite enjoyed it. If you want to try something a little new, you're probably going to really enjoy it. But if you're not a manga fan, well, of course you're not going to pick it up anyway because you're not a manga fan. But, yeah, if you want to try something a little new, this might be for you. Next up, we have Doctor Who #1, written by Tony Lee, with art by Andrew Curry. And in this one, Amy and Rory accidentally unleash a bunch of sentient spam and soon have to deal with something worse than junk mail, the Scroungers. If you're a fan of the new Doctor Who, you're probably going to really enjoy this. The tone is really in this book. It's actually quite funny. I like how they caught Matt's face. It works for the most part, and most of the characters are pretty close to their television counterparts. It's not half bad. It suffers like most IDW books suffers in some of the art, but story-wise, it's there. It's not bad. You're probably going to really enjoy it if you're a Doctor Who fan. And last and certainly not least is Infestation #1, written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, with art by David Messina. And in this one, CVO is a top-secret squad of vampire agents who protect humanity. But when alternate universes are opened, they have more trouble than they can handle in the form of zombies. And now it's only a matter of time before all the universes are infested. Yeah, this is the big, giant, mega thing that IDW is touting. It's not really good. It's not great. It could be a hell of a lot better art-wise. It's fantastic to look at, but if you're expecting to see any Transformers, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, or G.I. Joe, you're going to be sadly disappointed because you have to buy those series on their own. This is just a lead-in to those. So, yeah, if you're a fan of those, you're not going to like this one bit. But as a lead-in, it's not half bad. It's pretty interesting, and you get to see vampires be infected by zombies, which is just odd because vampires are dead too. Odd, isn't it? Can they really be infected? Well, apparently super zombies can do it. So yeah, if you're a fan of IDW's series, you might enjoy this. I'll give it a pass, but it's not great, but it is a pretty good lead-in if you're looking forward to the other books. So we will see you in 2 more days.